Good morning, I'm Carl Wolfenden, and this is Linked AM. Good morning and welcome to Linked AM, and thank you for joining me this morning. We're continuing the topic of starting the year strong. And, Race to the Start Line was a segment that we produced last year and was very successful and got a lot of comments and a lot of positive reaction. And so we thought, we'll start again. It's October, it's the fourth quarter, so you should be planning, and I'm sure you are, how you're going to set the stage for having a strong new year. And so I thought I'd have some of my friends from LinkedIn join me and have conversations that help you with that planning process and a couple of tactics that may be of interest. But I just want to talk about something real quick. I got a couple of people that talk to me and say, this isn't a show that you're doing. This is just a recording of you and your friends on LinkedIn having a conversation. Well, yes, we can call it a segment of Linked AM. So welcome to my segment. But actually, the definition of show is to display and showcase, and we're showcasing our conversations. And today we have on our show, or segment, however you want to say it, Eddie Vaca from Amplive. And he's going to be talking about live broadcasting because, live broadcasting and video live broadcasting has become a hot topic in conversations that I have at networking events and events all around the country. So welcome, Eddie, and thanks for joining me on the show.
Hey, Carl. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, my goodness. That looks such a cool place that you've got there. Where are you?
We're in Berkeley, California. Yeah, it's a beautiful, morning here, and I'm in what we call our treehouse.
Treehouse.
It's the second floor of our office that we've turned into kind of a kickback lounge zen area, if you would. Just hanging out in our hammock.
What a great way to start the morning. Let's go into a little bit more detail about your background, if you don't mind. I mean, you've got some really good credentials. So you were at Ustream, and what else have you been doing?
Yeah, definitely. So I originally started off at a Kleiner Back startup where we built digital out-of-home networks. We did that for Delta, United, 24 Hour Fitness, New York Times. If you've ever taken an airplane that has a seat-back TV, we were responsible for those. So that was early in my career, a lot of experience there. As you mentioned earlier, I did eventually go to Ustream, where I ran our media distribution business and grew a business unit there to multi-seven-figure revenue in the first year, by the way. So what we did really well at Ustream was able to generate large audiences for live events. And we were responsible for some of the largest broadcasts in history, only to be beaten out by Henry Baumgartner that jumped from space. The Red Bull guy.
So yes, I remember that guy.
Yeah, so he did it live, and fantastic job he did, but I did lose my number one spot to him, so that's okay.
As I talked about in my intro, I mean, video becomes a conversation at every event that I go to, networking, these conferences, etc. And everyone knows the power of video. I mean, everyone talks about, YouTube being, the biggest search engine because that's how people go and find things these days. But when they talk about it, they say you've got to put your content out there. You've got to actually go and do a live broadcast. And so yes, there's great opportunities out there. But what are the biggest challenges that people that want to go out and do video? What are they facing today?
Depending on who you ask, some people are going to tell you it's content and audiences, and if you're asking me, it's distribution. If you look at the recent kind of industry news, like Meerkat, right, came out at South by Southwest to this huge fanfare, tons of people downloaded the app, tons of people going live, and eventually got eaten up by Periscope. You look at Blab. Blab was another great live network. It allowed for multi-streams into kind of a one-to-one to one-to-many, if that makes any sense. But, think about a yoga instructor teaching a class to 3 students live. It was super cool, and unfortunately, both Meerkat and Blab had the same fate. What they didn't have, and what I think the biggest issue is the distribution side. So, to put that into context, Periscope wins over Meerkat because they have Twitter, a huge distribution channel, and Facebook wins over Periscope because they have a 1.3 billion person distribution channel. And so Amplive focuses on distribution solely because that's the biggest issue here.
Tell me more about Amplive, your company. Of course, you're one of our partners to help get this show out in front of people. So, tell the viewers a little bit more about your company.
Yeah, definitely. So, Amplive is a live video distribution platform. At Ustream, we saw an opportunity in the market, and that was helping broadcasters reach audiences that they aren't able to do organically. So, what we focus on is the engagement, distribution, and conversion. So, what we're really trying to do for that broadcaster is to show ROI. As brands embrace live, as marketers embrace live, as all of these things are coming together, at the end of the day, they have to show ROI. And that's what we're really doing for them. We're helping them distribute their story at scale, and then providing the data that they need on the back end to show that positive ROI for the event that they just produced.
I think it's so important, because I think one of the things that I learned as a producer and also as a performer and a host, etc. If you do a great show and nobody turns up, then that's a big problem.
And did you really do a great show?
Yeah, and it affects the performance. It really does if nobody turns up. So what you're saying is you're actually your services and features and benefits are to go out and find those relevant people that are going to look at your content. Is that right?
Exactly. So you take this show, for instance. You're targeting business professionals. You're looking at industry folks that want to learn and engage with other entrepreneurs. That's a very specific audience that if you just threw that on your website, you're going to have a hard time pulling people to. So instead, let's push it to them. Let's give them the opportunity to discover that on their favorite place, like TechCrunch or Engadget, and they can view the exact same content, but in the environment that they're used to. So we're taking the guessing game out of content discovery for live.
There's tons of people out there that we have heard these stories about great live broadcasts. We've got Facebook Live, we've got Ustream, we've got Livestream, we've got all of these different options. And what are the challenges that a beginner or somebody that's been actually producing videos, what are they facing with the live element of live video broadcasting now?
Challenges. Bandwidth is a huge thing. Facebook has made it very easy to go live. Technology to go live is pretty robust and commoditized at this point. You can go live with phones, tablets, desktops, webcams. Going live isn't the hard part anymore. Challenges that you're going to face, bandwidth, CDN, infrastructure, things like that people
explain
don't
that, Eddie, if you don't mind, if you explain bandwidth, because I hear that word a lot and it sort of means different things to different people. So explain what that means.
Yeah, this is basically the data that you can push through a pipe, right? So think about, like, as content continues to grow. Back when YouTube started, you were looking at really big square pixels that didn't take a whole bunch of bandwidth, but for the infrastructure was huge. Now you're pushing 1080p minimum, sometimes 4K in quality of video. So you're going to need a lot of bandwidth to be able to push that up to your CDN and then ultimately out to your viewers. That beginners fail a lot that way, and incumbents. Think about Apple. They learned their lesson not too long ago, where their whole stream went down because they were pushing really high quality and had a higher than expected viewership number than they were expecting, and they just weren't ready for it. So they went down, and that's what causes your live stream to go down. So I think beginners just don't know, and you know, the incumbents just aren't prepared. So I think they face both the same challenges when it comes to that.
So what I'm hearing is it's very important to choose the right partner to be streaming through and have the right tools to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. Not all infrastructure is built the same. You know, a lot of people think that, hey, I can go on YouTube and, you know, I can do it for free, or I can go to a Bright Cove and pay, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. There's a difference, and there's a reason why you pay tens of thousands of dollars. Because when you're live, it matters. And when you have something really important to say and you only get one shot at it, infrastructure shouldn't be your hurdle there. It shouldn't be. So don't cheap out on your infrastructure costs because, you know, YouTube is free. Think about other options. Think about other partners, mid-tier, the Ustreams, the live streams of the world, do excellent jobs for what any typical broadcaster needs.
You know, it was just the other day when we were talking, I didn't realize that when you're actually going live, it's actually pretty important to know where your audience is actually viewing your content that you're putting out there. So, you know, somebody might be sat at a desk and watching it on their either desktop or laptop, but some are actually, and quite a lot of people watch via their mobile devices or tablets, and that's pretty important, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think you need a plan for every scenario, and really think out your distribution, right? So what are the end devices that are going to be used for the viewer? So our majority of this going to be viewed on desktop, or maybe it's OTT, right? Maybe it's OTT and you're going to deliver there, but delivery is a huge part of any live event, and being prepared for that, for both, you know, worst case and best case scenarios, is important.
From what you're seeing out there, Eddie, what are the best results that people are seeing? Now, we're asked all the time about, you know, return on investment. What is my return on investment to invest in video as a marketing tool and a branding tool? What are the success stories and things that you're seeing out there? How are people getting a return on investment, an ROI?
Yeah, I mean, I think ROI is different for a whole bunch of different companies, right? Yeah. If you're an entertainment company, you want to monetize eyeballs, which is very different from an enterprise company that wants to generate leads for their sales team. The one thing that is common across every company is that they want to generate an ROI. If you're a brand using this for business, if you're using live video for business, you want to generate some sort of ROI. And that just comes in a whole bunch of different forms. So some of our clients, like Microsoft, want to sell more Xboxes, right? They want to sell product through e-com, or they want to sell software or software services, which is very different from a Dick Clark Productions that wants to, you know, get the red carpet out to millions and millions of people, and then monetize that via advertising. So I think, you know, we're set up to help drive that conversion, whether it be in the form of ads or in the form of form completes. I think that the currency is different among those, but if you're thinking ROI, you should be thinking about how do I engage, distribute, and then ultimately convert.
I know there's tons of stuff that we can talk about, and you know, I'm learning a lot just having this conversation, and hopefully our viewers are as well. But you know, one of the things that I want to really get to, and we're going to have you back on the show, by the way, because there's tons of questions I want to ask, and you know, we haven't got enough time to do that on this segment. But you know, what are the next generation of things happening in live broadcast? Well, what are the things that are coming up that you can see?
Yeah, I think infrastructure played a big part in this. You know, live video has been around for a long time, but only recently got really popular, right? With the explosion of Meerkat, YouNow, Blab, Lively, all these live platforms coming out. I think what you see next is in the form of 360, more immersive experiences, and then ultimately VR, live VR. Like how can you and friends around the world join into this virtual room and do it live and participate in the same experience So I think with the way technology's caught up in the last few short years, you'll see it move a lot faster now. And so that's where I think we're a lot closer to live VR than we are anything else. Yeah, engagement and attention is the new currency. So brands are looking to do that, and what is more engaging than immersing someone into an experience? So I think we're really close to it. And I mean, you have Facebook behind pushing it, right? So.
Hey Eddie, thanks for coming on the show and swinging in your hammock and showing us the treehouse there, Amplive. Fantastic, wonderful place to work. I'm pretty sure you got a great team of people over there. One of the things that I've done is I've just shared on the screen now your Twitter handle, how that people can follow you, and also on the website linkedam.com you'll be able to find a little bit more about Amplive and find out more information about how to get hold of Eddie and his team. So appreciate it, and looking forward to having you back on the show.
Thanks, Karl. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. We just had Eddie Vaca on, CEO of Amplive, talking about live broadcasting and how the challenges and the next generation of live broadcasting is coming out. Virtual reality, oh my goodness, that'll be interesting. But if you want to know more about Amplive and Eddie's team, I've put some more information on our website, linkedam.com, and we'll have Eddie back on, I'm sure, because there's tons of questions that I want to ask him, because it is the future. It's not just the thing that you do in marketing, but it's a big key element that is a growing sector. So if you have any questions about live broadcasting, then you can go to our website, ask us a question, and we'll answer them. And also, we may have you on the show. And that's the other thing. If you want to be on the show with me on Linked AM on one of these beautiful mornings, just reach out to me and we'll see if we can schedule a time to have a conversation and have you share your conversation with me, with my friends on LinkedIn. So thanks ever so much, and have a great morning, and make it happen, they say.